Rental rates in Nashville just hit a new low since spring of 2022. This is going to be a good time to discuss the benefits of renting and the benefits of homeownership and which one might be right for you. Hey everyone, my name is Wesley Meyer. I am a realtor here in the Nashville area. I work with buyers, sellers, and investors. I believe that every home buyer or home seller needs to make educated decisions. So that's what this whole channel is about. Educating you about real estate, the local Nashville market, and Nashville in general if you're going to be looking to move here. I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, like this video, and turn on post notifications. And if you or anyone else you know is looking to buy or sell a home, please reach out to me. I'd love to get in contact with you and see what I can do to help you through this process. All right, so it's no secret that homes are expensive, especially right here, right now in Nashville. Rents have shot up the past few years too, so which is gonna be best for you? Whether you're renting right now, or you own a home, or you're wanting to own a home, we're gonna dive into some of the benefits of renting and owning, and maybe some of the drawbacks of both too. And then we're going to talk about what might be best for you and the things you need to consider long-term when you make this decision. All right, so first up is renting. Really, the biggest benefit of renting, in my mind, is going to be the flexibility. Most leases are only a year long. So when you sign a lease and you say, I'm going to live at this location, in this property, in this apartment for this amount of time, it's usually 6 months to a year, but most of the time it's a year. So that's really not that long of a time that you're committed to a specific place. Rental rates are locked in for that lease period. They cannot change the rent price without your consent during that period. These segments of time give you more flexibility. So whether you're moving to a city just for a short term or you want to just try a new location out, renting's a really good option. You're able to move from location to location, downsize, upsize without the hassle of selling a property. Another benefit of renting is lower initial costs. So unlike selling that has down payments and costs and things associated with buying and selling a property, leasing a rental is a lot more simple. There's usually a security deposit, and most of them around here are equal to 1 month's rent. The average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Nashville is a little over $1,700. So you're likely going to have about a $1,700 security deposit when you first lease the apartment. And then you're going to have that fixed monthly cost for the life of the lease. That's a pretty low entry barrier to housing. If you compare that to buying a house, there are inspection costs, appraisal costs, all these costs associated with getting into that house. You usually don't have those with rentals. Next, and this one is huge, this one's pretty big, especially for younger folks. That's going to be minimal maintenance. So when you live in a rental, you are not the owner of that rental. You are leasing the space for a certain amount of time. And the responsibilities of keeping that property maintained, up to date, and livable, they always fall on the property owner. So if something breaks, if the roof starts to leak, that's not your responsibility. The homeowner is under legal responsibility to fix those things, and that provides some good peace of mind for a renter. Likely, it's not going to take up your time. Sometimes it can, but it's definitely not going to impact your pocketbook at the moment. Another benefit of renting is access to amenities. So usually, if you're in an apartment complex, oftentimes they're going to have a dog park, pool, maybe a clubhouse, areas that you can use that come along with your rental. Now, keep in mind, you are paying for these things through your rental price. So they're technically not free, but it is nice that they're included in the cost of living. Now let's shift gears. We're going to talk about the benefits of home ownership next. First and most importantly is going to be building equity. When you're making payments on a house, some of that payment is building equity in your home. If you take a rental payment is essentially paying off someone else's mortgage. So they are building equity in the property, you are not. Rental cost is 100% cost. Mortgage payments on a house are not 100% cost. The only cost associated with that is the interest. That's the cost of taking out the mortgage on the house, is the interest. The rest of that you're gonna get back when you sell the house. So you kind of have to switch your mind from thinking of the entire monthly payment as a cost. Really, the only thing that you're not getting back is the interest payment. The longer you own the house, the less interest you pay every single month. A lot of people talk about renting a house as just wasting money because you could be making payments to own a house and get some of that money back eventually when you sell, rather than getting nothing back from your rental payments. Next is going to be stability. Unlike rental properties, your payment on your house will always be the same unless you refinance or taxes change. your rental payment could change every single time you renew your lease. In fact, you can almost guarantee your rent is going to increase when you go to renew your lease the next year. This is one of the benefits of home ownership. It's easier to budget because you have a fixed housing cost that's not going to change on you. There are also tax benefits to owning a home. So when you first buy a property, you're going to be paying a lot of interest during that first year or two. Good news though, all those interest payments you make are tax deductible. So usually in the first year or two of home ownership, you get a nice big fat tax return at the end of the year that you can put back into home improvements or whatever you want. There are loads more tax advantages associated with home ownership. If you want to find out more, I'd love to meet with you. There's a link in the description for a first-time homebuyer consultation. You can sign up for that with myself and my team. We can go over all the benefits of home ownership and get you guys on a plan to buying your first home. Next is going to be personalization. So with a rental, you're not really allowed to personalize the space as much as you might want to. You're not going to be allowed to paint without permission. You're not going to be allowed to, bust down a wall. Definitely not do that. There's a lot that you're not allowed to do because you don't own the space. But with a home, it's 100% yours. So you can do whatever you want. You can bust down walls. You can change the color of the paint. You can remove the flooring, new carpet, anything you want, you can do. You're the homeowner. Here are some things you should consider if you're trying to make the decision between renting and purchasing a house. First is going to be your financial situation. Take a look at your savings, your credit score, and your income stability. If you don't have a very stable income, it might be a good idea to keep renting until you can find a little bit more stability. Next is going to be your long-term goals. What are your goals? Do you want to stay in the current city you're in? Are you probably going to move soon? How much flexibility do you want? Do you want to be able to move neighborhoods every few years? If you feel like you're ready to settle down and stay in one spot for several years, homeownership is probably going to be a better option for you financially. Keep an eye on market conditions. Rentals are very volatile. They're often going to be increasing. Sometimes they can decrease, as we're seeing now in Nashville, but long term, they are always going to increase the cost of real estate. I'm saying that in contrast to homeownership, because historically in the United States, there has never been a bad time to buy. Long term, real estate always appreciates. It is one of the most stable ways to invest. Home ownership is one of the most stable paths to wealth. There's been a lot of news on the real estate market right now, and let me tell you, there can be a bad time to sell, but there is never going to be a bad time to buy. It's all about your specific situation, what you're ready to do, because long term, your house will appreciate. That is a reality of the world we live in. Homes appreciate over long term. So that's it, guys. This was a very brief overview of the benefits of renting versus home ownership. If you want to dive deeper with myself and my team, I recommend signing up for that first-time home buyer consultation. The link is in the description. That is a free service that my team does. We meet with you, take a look at your financials, discuss whether home ownership is going to be a good option for you right now. If it's not, we'll get you guys a plan in place so you can reach your goals for the future. Again, if you or anyone you know is looking to buy or sell a home in Nashville or anywhere near here, please reach out to me. I'd love to help you get a plan in place. My name is Wesley Meyer. I hope you found value from this video. I really enjoy making these for you guys. And until next time, have a good one. Bye-bye.